The College of Arts and Letters houses many schools and departments, and I think we are very varied because we're all different. There's a School of Communication Studies. SMAT obviously is our friendly neighbor. Writing, Rhetoric, Technical Communication, History. There's a variety of foreign language departments.
The department here at JMU offers a fabulous program. There's amazing professors. They're actually interested in my interests and the thing that I want to do in the future.
All of the professors that I've had at JMU have been incredible. I've had such a one-on-one connection with most of them, and they've really served as mentors for me.
So we have classes cross-listed with the School of Media, Arts and Design, and it makes it possible for us to get to know students from other venues.
It's the message. It's the message about JMU's commitment. It's about JMU's commitment to education, commitment to development, but commitment to taking care of people.
The critical thinking skills, right? The language skills, right? The communication skills, all of that is under arts and letters. And I think that really creates the backbone of our society.
Good evening and welcome to the College of Arts and Letters live stream event. I'm Tracy Zimmerman, Associate Dean in the College of Arts and Letters and a pre-law advisor in the college. Tonight, I'm delighted to serve as the moderator for our session, and I'm joined by some fantastic panelists who I'd like you to meet. So we'll have them introduce themselves.
My name is Shawn White, and I'm an English professor.
Hi everyone, my name is McLean. I'm a senior media arts and design major concentrating in journalism, and I also am this year's student body president at JMU, and I also had the opportunity to create my own organization my sophomore year called Women of Color, and I also was a 2019 orientation peer advisor.
Hard to follow that, but I'm Sean Macarthy, and I'm an associate professor in the School of Writing, Rhetoric and Technical Communication. And I teach courses in digital media, community engagement, and interdisciplinary collaboration.
Hi, I'm TJ Fitzgerald. I teach history courses such as world history and the history of the Middle East.
Great, thanks to our panelists. Well, we're eager to get to your questions, but to get things started, I'd like to give you an overview of our college. We offer 13 majors and numerous concentrations in the following areas of study: anthropology, communication studies, English, history, international affairs, justice studies, media arts and design, modern foreign languages, philosophy and religion, political science, public policy and administration, sociology, and writing, rhetoric, and technical communication. We also have over 50 minors to choose from. As one of the largest colleges at James Madison University, we offer many exciting opportunities to our students, and I'd like to ask our panelists to speak to some of those. Anybody want to start?
I think I'll start. The thing that jumped into mind first is just the kind of applied experiences that are open to Cal majors and minors in terms of doing lots of different kind of collaborative work with different majors, with partners. We foster really deep critical engagement and critical thinking skills, but we're also very applied in the way that we do that. And I think one of the things that makes me proud to work in Cal is the opportunity to do really impactful, meaningful work with community partners, both in the local area and elsewhere, and giving our students the opportunity to really show us what they can do. We're not preparing them for the world, they're in the world, and they do some amazing work while they're on campus, and it's a privilege to work with them to do that.
Great.
So
yeah.
Sorry about that. So I thought I'd jump in since Tracy was talking about all the wonderful majors that we have available in Cal, and then Sean was talking about the interdisciplinary opportunities. I just wanted to call attention to the fact that we house a number of really interesting cross-disciplinary minors, which means that students take courses in those minors from various different disciplines, many of them throughout the college, but also some of them from other colleges in the university. And what that does is allow students the chance to explore different disciplines or even specialize in different disciplines beyond their major discipline. So some examples are environmental humanities, women's and gender and sexuality studies, Latin American and Caribbean studies, medical humanities. There are all kinds of different interesting cross-disciplinary minors that allow for different opportunities in the classroom.
I know for me, I came in as a SMAD journalism major, and so I didn't know exactly. At first, I thought I wanted to be a CNN news anchor. That was always my ideal career job. But now, just being in Cal, since I've learned so many different critical thinking, like they're saying, or just communication in general. Now I really want to work in higher education policy, and so I picked up minors in sociology and political communication, and it's just so different but so broad. But it's allowed me to kind of think of human skills, social issues, how to really communicate, how do you really talk to different communities. And so Cal's really honestly just opened up so many doors for me in that regard by just letting me kind of think about different departments, really put myself into them. And now I'm kind of excited about the career path that I hope to go into now.
Yeah, and I would just add two quick things that people can ask further questions about if they're interested. In Cal, we really emphasize, as was said earlier, hands-on, practical, real-world experience. And so we have all kinds of internship opportunities in every program in arts and letters. In history, we have students that go out into museums around the area and in DC. And I know there are similar opportunities in other departments. And the other area I'll just mention is study abroad. We have students that love to study abroad and faculty that love to take them abroad. So that's another popular thing that is supported in our college too.
Great. We've got a question coming in. This one comes in from Lily. She's asking, how does going into journalism help students prepare for law school? If the panel doesn't mind, I'll jump on that question just as I'm a pre-law advisor for the college. What I can say is that journalism, there are a number of majors that really help out with pre-law. Going into something like journalism is going to refine the kinds of skills that you're going to need to be successful on the LSAT test, and then also to be successful in law school, which are things like very careful reading, critical thinking, writing, all of those kinds of things. And really you'll find any of the majors in the College of Arts and Letters would be an appropriate major to go to law school. So part of what we do in the pre-law advising program is that we connect students not only to pre-law advisors, of which I'm one, but there's a number across majors at the college, but also connects students with current students and with alums that sort of have that background and that are working currently in legal jobs. So it's a really fantastic program. And like I said, journalism is a perfectly great connection to make, but you can do a whole bunch of different, gather those skills with the different majors across the college. Okay, we've got another question that has come in from Kevin. What are my options? He asks if I want to double major in film and business. Advisors out there, film and business. Those two go together, I gotta say. Good question, Kevin.
Well, I was just gonna pop in and say to Kevin, it's a great question in terms of those specific majors, that it's certainly possible for you to major in two majors across two different colleges. That's totally possible. It also seems to be really relevant because you can talk about the kind of practitioner side, the making of films, the production side, but also think through the business side. At JMU, it's possible to hold a Bachelor of Arts, a Bachelor of Fine Arts, or a Bachelor of Science. And I know that the Business College offers Bachelors of Science and of Arts. So there's a lot of flexibility at JMU within the college and also across colleges.
Just to back up 1 second to the question that was asked earlier, about journalism and law. I think Aaliyah had indicated she might want to speak to the journalism piece a little bit too. So we'll just double back and then we'll pick up some new questions as well, if that's okay with you, Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. I was going to say journalism is a really good major if you are looking into going into law. I have a lot of friends that are going into law school, and I'm just like she said, those skills of critical thinking, writing, and journalism teaches you how to be investigative, but also really objective, which is really needed into the law field. And so I also think like with journalism, it matched so well now that I want to go into political science because it just taught me those skills of how to actually get to know people, but learning to look for both sides and asking questions and going deeper just beyond surface level things, but really trying to get to that root cause a lot. So I think that'd be a really good match to go into that.
Great, thanks. Just to sort of segue, I know we're getting questions that are sort of going in numerical order, but just to sort of stay thematic, and I don't know, Aaliyah, if we can call on you one more time and then other folks can chime in, but we did get a question from Sarah about how competitive is it getting into SMAD. So we had a direct SMAD question, and I feel like you are uniquely suited to take this one on. So if you don't mind picking up that one, and then we'll double back to some of the other questions that are coming in.
Yeah, getting a SMAT, I wouldn't say it's competitive. It is a closed major, and so there is a limited number of seats and people they let in each year. And so I applied the second semester of my first year, and I did not get in actually. And so I was kind of disappointed and didn't know where to go from there. But I didn't give up. I spoke to my SMAT advisor, and they told me just try again. Sometimes it happens, and a lot of times it might be depending on your GPA or just things like that. So we said still go for it. And so instead of me not getting a SMAT the first time, I still joined. I started writing for the Breeze and also started doing Breeze TV. And so I still got involved in SMAT activities without being in the major. And then I applied again the second time and did get in. So a lot of times you might not get in the first time. It just depends on the GPA and how many people they are letting in, depending on your concentration. But never give up, because as long as you're putting in your effort and communicating with people, you'll be fine, honestly, getting to the program.
Fantastic, thanks. And just FYI, viewers, The Breeze is our award-winning student newspaper and is also coupled with some fantastic Breeze TV stuff. It's fantastic. You can find it on social media. I strongly recommend it. So we have a question about the Washington Semester DC program. This one's from Zoe. And Zoe asked, would I need to apply to be in this program? What year would I need to be in to get into the program? And there's also, John is also interested in the DC semester program and is curious about how many students are accepted in the qualifications. I will say, and then I'll open it up to my advisors, we will be linking some information about the Washington DC semester. It does have an application process, and it's a fantastic opportunity. Does anybody have any additional information about the Washington DC program? But we'll definitely link some more information there. Okay, fantastic. We will get back to you. That is not probably the answer you're looking for, Zoe and John, but we will get you that information. TJ, if you want to jump in with a little bit of advising, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I just want to reassure everybody out there, these are great questions, and some of them are quite specific in exactly the kinds of questions you'll have as you join us. I would offer is that we're going to put in place for you some really great advisors. You'll have a first-year advisor, then you'll have advisors in all your programs. And these are people who will be dedicated to helping you figure out what you need to do to apply for a particular program, what you need to do in the event you weren't admitted the first time around into a major, right? And they're going to help you pick classes and answer those specific questions or point you in the right direction. So I would just reassure everybody that there are answers out there, even if we don't have all of them right now.
And the great thing too is that David Jones has jumped in on the comments, and he is actually the director of the Washington semester. So you're going to get very good information very quickly on that program. And it is a very popular program, but I want to echo what TJ has said. We work together very closely in this college to mentor our students. And I think that's coming through certainly in some of the answers, but if we don't know, we know how you can get those answers and how we can help our students in that way. Okay, we have a question here from Lily, how large are the freshman year communications classes? Anybody want to take that one?
Hello. As I understand it, the ESCOM classes, certainly the speech classes, are quite small. They're 20 to 25. I'd like to want to double check that, but I'm pretty sure they're quite small because part of their purpose is to allow students to really understand how to give speeches. You have to do that in a relatively small group. So I know many of
I know for me, in my communication classes, as a political communication minor, I'm required to take a certain amount of ESCOM courses, and they're always about 20, 25 students in a class, no more than 30, and so it's a comfortable group. And then sometimes I even have, as I got older into my senior capstone classes with ESCOM, it was 15 to 10 people, and so really comfortable. Like she said, you're really there to give speeches and to communicate, and it really helps you do that in that environment.
It would be helpful if I were not muted. Yes. I have another question here, and it's a good question from Katie, so I'm glad I did not repeat it while I was muted. How quickly do students tend to find jobs after graduation? Great. Sean White, do you want to jump on that one?
Yeah, I just wanted to share a statistic that 96% of 2018 Cal grads were employed in grad school or involved in other career endeavors within 6 months of graduation. I know some data just about the English department that most students get, let's see, what is it, 4 interviews and 2 job offers by the time they graduate. So it's very common for, I mean, we have a really terrific career and academic planning office at JMU that serves the entire institution, but Cal has its own dedicated liaison who's specifically familiar with all of our specialties and disciplines and puts graduates and actually current students in touch with employers. And that also goes for internships as well. They work on finding internships during, while students are still in college.
Great. Aaliyah, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, something too that's really unique about JMU is honestly finding those. So there's like this saying that mentors are people that help get you there, but sponsors are people that really tap you in. And so at JMU, I'm so lucky that I found so many sponsors, and so many students do. You really won't leave school without something in mind or someone in your corner really trying to help you get connected to another alumni or some type of job that you really want to pursue in your future. And so really going in, I was kind of nervous about the career field, but felt so confident my junior and definitely this year, knowing that people are not going to let me leave, not having a job, not knowing what I want to do next. And so knowing that JMU is really big on that. And even majors like mine, we have SMAT day. And so, for example, we have alumni come back and really read our resumes, give us help, but also have a career fair after that just for us. And so knowing that you really don't leave without that kind of clarity in mind.
Yeah, Sean, you were reading my mind. Would you speak to the Cal Career Conference? I think that's right in the wheelhouse of this question.
The Cal Career Conference was started in 2017, and we've held another one in 2019. Basically, it brings alumni back from all of the disciplines in the College of Arts and Letters and invites them to sit on panels organized around various questions: finding your first job, what it's like to work in the law field, down to how do you deal with social media, what kind of skills have most helped you from your Cal degree. And then students are invited to come sit and attend those panels. And our first year was really impressively popular. We brought back 50 alumni. And there were so many students who were ready from 8:30 a.m. to sit on those panels and ask their questions. There was something really special about being able to connect alumni with current students because the alumni have been where students are. And we had alumni from as far back as the 1980s to graduates as recent as 2014, 2015. So it really was a lot of different ages and time periods and fields and disciplines. It was a pretty great event.
Can I jump in on that?
Oh, please go ahead.
It's just to develop from what Sean was saying, the relationship between alumni and both the students and the faculty is really strong in Cal, and we make a big effort to get to know what our alumni are doing in their current positions, because the job market is changing so fast. We're always trying to adapt our what we do in the classroom so that we can better prepare students when they get out into the workforce. So, you know, between the Cal Conference and also the various alumni associations that work with different departments, it's a really vital way for us to keep on top of changing needs that our graduates have when they leave after their degrees.
Fantastic. We have a question that came in from Michelle, and this is a very specific question. It's about the differences between ESCOM 121, 122, and 123. Perhaps we could talk about ways to find that information. One of the things we can recommend that you do, and you'll hear me echo this at the end, is if you go to the Choices website and you look at all of the academic programs prepared sessions that they have there in virtual choices, there is a lot of information about each individual major that's much more detailed than we give at the college level. And there's also a point of contact. So if you're looking through and you're looking for these classes and you can't find the differences and maybe you want to ask somebody, there is a point of contact there. And I suspect that there might be somebody lurking in the comments also from communication studies that might offer some information as well. Anything that you'd add, advisors?
Yeah, sure. I can add just very quickly. I don't teach in communication studies, but I believe those courses are differently weighted in terms of the kind of work students do. So there's individual presentations, group presentations, and then kind of a mixed class, which kind of does a bit of both. So I think it's more about which kind of work you prefer as a student. Do you prefer to work more individually, more in a group, or do you want to balance the two? But other than that, I expect there to be some broad similarities among the three, and all three to be great classes.
Great. We've got a question here from Helen. Helen asks, what % of students that were in the pre-law track got accepted into law school? Helen, what I can tell you about that is the percentage I don't have front brain, but I can tell you two things, and I can probably get the percentage. One is on the Virtual Choices site, there is a pre-law presentation that we've put together that sort of outlines where people have gotten accepted to law school, lots of tips about how to participate in the pre-law program at JMU and how that works as an advising program. And so you'll get a sense of where people are going. The percentages may very well be in that PowerPoint presentation, but if not, it's easy to follow up with you and give you the percentage. Great. All right, Nori, these are great questions. You guys are on fire. Here's a question from Nori. Can you take courses that aren't part of your major? Sean White, I think this, for some reason, I'm calling your name on this one, and then certainly people can chime in.
Great. Nori, this is a phenomenal question. And in fact, you are sort of encouraged to take courses that aren't in your major. So there's a couple reasons and a couple ways. First of all, for our degrees, you're required to have 120 credits to graduate. General education is about 41 credits, and most of the majors in Cal are 33 to 41 credits, which means you have a whole lot of room to explore other avenues. So one of the things is that students sometimes double major, but other students take 1, 2, maybe 3 minors that seem really relevant or interesting to them, and they're able to sort of create a composite sort of a path of their own making. But even if you only decide to do 1 major, you still have room within your college career to choose classes from all over the university, really, but especially all over Cal. There are a few classes that are restricted to majors, But for the most part, a lot of our courses invite students from other majors and other disciplines to come take them. And as I said before, a lot of cross-disciplinary majors actually cross list. They might be poli-sci this and sociology this, same course, but they count for more than one discipline. So lots of room to explore, Nuri.
Can I jump in there as well? I teach regularly in a place called JMU X Labs, which does interdisciplinary courses that are problem-based. And one is the biggest school that brings students to the JMU X Labs, and they do really interesting courses in problem solving that involve students and professors from different disciplines that are all working together at the same time on problems. It's a great way to build a skill base, and it's a really great way to use those extra credits. So there's a number of ways that you can get you can take those courses in lots of different ways, and we can chat about that when you get around to doing it. But JMU prides itself on, as you know, on it being a place where you can get engaged experience, and there's lots of different ways for you to be able to do that, both within the major and with those extra credits that you have at your disposal, and we suggest that you use them wisely, because you can do lots of really interesting things with them.
Great. Any other sort of follow-up with that one? I'm going to sort of jump into a question from John about international affairs. How many students in the program, and do most study abroad? What I can say about international affairs is that, and we can speak about study abroad in tandem with this and then also separately, that students in the international affairs, it's an interdisciplinary program. It's housed under political science. So again, if you're looking for more granular information about this, do check that out. There's ways to sort of get even more information about it. But students can choose to focus on international relations or in a particular geographic area. In the comparative study concentration, that would include Africa, Asia, Europe, Latin America, and the Middle East. I know that a number of students do study abroad with this. It makes sense. I don't know if it's a requirement, but other sort of feedback on that from that? Okay, that's great. TJ, would you like to pick up on that?
Yeah, I would just emphasize in general that, John, you're thinking about the right things. I mean, as an international affairs major, obviously you want to get out there, right? And so study abroad is popular in general, but especially with those majors, as is foreign language study. And studying abroad and foreign language study can and do often go together. If you want more information, I'd encourage you to spend some time on the website for our Center for Global Engagement, which I believe is www.jmu.edu/global. And there you can see all the programs that we have. And these are great things to be thinking about.
In fact, just building off what TJ says, John, there's a page on the International Affairs website that talks specifically about study abroad opportunities for international affairs majors. So there's the Semester in London program, there's exchange programs with 5 different universities and other programs. So there's a lot of different options for you there. And just, I do study abroad every second year or so, and last year when I did it, there was like nearly 90 summer programs, so on 5 continents. So there's a huge range of places for you to go, and many of those programs will have courses of study and projects that would really suit what you want to do. So going through CGE, going through your advisors in international affairs, you will get set up with the right program, no problem.
Great. I've got a question here from Carissa. Can I double major in SMAD and public relations? Aaliyah, if you want to jump on that question.
Yeah, so a lot of SMAT students actually do double major. It typically is something smart to do, because you'll get like your base concentration of what you want to do in SMAT, but then adding something else to that just helps like add to your career, add to your like knowledge of what you want to know. And so for me, I didn't want to pick up another major, but I picked up 2 minors. So it's basically equivalent to another major. It's about 40 to 45 credits I added on with those 2 minors in sociology and political communication. And so most people do typically get another major so they can focus and add to it, because all you do is just add to your knowledge and add to just the pool of opportunities that you can build on and and have at JMU. And so typically when you apply to SMAT, there's still enough time to finish your course load and then do your major course load. So you're never really overbooked or overcommitted. It really just works out really perfectly to do that.
Fantastic. All right, so there's a question coming in. This one's from Helen. Since we're on a study abroad thread here, I like this. This is from Helen. Are students able to do study abroad during their first semester?
I could dive in. I don't know the exact answer to the question, Helen. I don't know for sure. I would say that that is certainly a question to take to the Center for Global Engagement, which is, that's our kind of, well, it's where study abroad lives, basically. It's the big hat that study abroad lives under. But I would like to say, just to encourage to some of these specific questions, I just want to encourage students that you don't have to have all of the answers before you get here, that there's so much exploration that can take place this summer. For one thing, you'll meet a freshman advisor who will help carry you through in choosing your classes and thinking through a path. And I think others can probably talk with greater specifics about how the summer is actually spent. But then you will end up with an advisor who's specific to your major, and then you'll have advisors for minors also. And so there are plenty of people in place at JMU, whether within a particular department or a particular program, or in Cal more broadly, plenty of people who can help you work out some of these greater details.
And something else that you could do, in addition to if you couldn't study abroad your first semester, is JMU has some really great programs called alternative breaks. So we've been talking a lot about like exponential learning and community engagement. And so what you could do is always go, it's through the community service learning office. And what these breaks do is you go to another community, different states, and some of these are actually international, and you get the chance to study a social issue and really learn. And some of them are actually offered for course credit with different departments and things like that. Like I know sociology does a break in Jamaica. And so you can do these types of things. Like I've done an alternative student break, and I got the chance to go to Winter Park, Florida to learn about homelessness and things like that. And you take a class with that, and you just continually learn about these social issues. And so you're not really studying abroad, but you are getting to go somewhere else and really apply the knowledge you've learned from JMU, but then bring it back to JMU and apply what you learned while you're there. And so there's weekend breaks and fall breaks and so many different breaks and opportunities. And so all of that is just alternative breaks with the community service learning office as well.
And I'd just like to jump in and say I applaud your adventurousness that you want to go elsewhere on your first semester. That sounds like you are a great candidate for JMU because we like adventurous spirits like yourself. We'd also like you to consider that being here for the first semester can be a really great experience. We have one of the most welcoming openings of a semester for incoming freshmen anywhere in the country. We're famous for it. And there's something about just being here at the beginning of the semester. The weather's good and everybody's out on the quad and getting to know each other. And there's a great energy and vibe. And it's just something to consider that you're not just getting into classes for your first semester. You're really soaking up the kind of unique culture of campus and of the JMU way. And it's, you know, by the second semester, it's cold and people are kind of they know each other. And you coming in at the second semester after being abroad, well, you're going to have this really expensive like world experience behind you. You know, it might be a little of a different experience for you to get into the culture and life of JMU then. So I would just consider talking maybe with some folks about what exactly is in store for you when you do come to campus, because it really is spectacular and very special. I have never seen anything like it. When I got here first, I was like, this is incredible. This is the most welcoming place I've ever been to in my life. So it's, and I was coming in as a new faculty member, and they weren't really looking at me at all. So it's really, really amazing place to be welcomed into when you come here first. So just think about that when you're making your decision about study abroad. We encourage you, some people go to study abroad many times. over the course, or at least more than once over the course of their 4 years, if they can get the courses to match up for them. But after that first semester, you might want to stay here because it's really fun.
Fantastic. Well, as we're getting to the end of our time, I'd like to ask the panelists if they have one thought that they'd like to leave you with today.
Well, you know, it's funny that Sean was just talking about what it's like to come onto campus for the first time, because I wanted to share that College of Arts and Letters is, it's really the heart of JMU, and it's located on the classic campus quad. So it's got those great old buildings made of bluestone, and it's got the incredible grass. You see it on all the brochures, and this is where you're supposed to play Frisbee or take a nap or hang out with whoever has a dog. There's a lot of dogs for some reason. So I just wanted to share too that it's a great place generally. It's a wonderful place to live, and we hope you'll join us.
I know for me, kind of reminiscing on when I was a high school senior and I was sitting in the auditorium hearing my choices presentation and what that looked like. I guess I didn't imagine what my life would be like in 4 years or who I'd really turn out to be. And I really give that to Cal and the experiences I've had at JMU. And so just know that if you choose JMU, you're in for a life-changing adventure. You may not know who you'll be in 4 years, but you're going to be just full of so much joy and really just knowing who your authentic self is. And so I would have never thought that 4 years ago, but I wish you all the best of luck and hope you all can experience that Madison experience with us.
I'd like to build off what Aaliyah says, but we wish you the best of luck in making your choice, and we really hope to see you here. And, you know, welcoming you and working with you over your 4 years is the reason why we get up in the morning. It's what we love doing. And we work really hard in Cal to provide a variety of experiences for you that are not going to just get you a degree, but are going to prepare you for life in a way that is, you know, is really unique to the 4-year on-campus experience that we really cherish and pride ourselves in here at JMU. So look forward to seeing you in the fall.
And I would just add, I mean, it's been so well said, but I would just add, if you're joining the College of Arts and Letters in any of our programs, you're about to meet people that really want to meet you. These are professors that love working with students, support staff that love helping students. It's just a really kind of empowering environment to be in. And it's a pervasive culture. So I congratulate you, and I look forward to seeing you this fall.
Well, I want to thank all of you out there for joining us. If we weren't able to get to your question during this panel, please leave it in the comment section and we'll make sure to respond to those. You can also visit the Choices website for more information. The link will be posted below. And just as a reminder, do check out the links to the individual academic programs and the other programming that they have there. They'll have more detailed information about each major and provide contact information. If you want to follow up, we would welcome hearing from you and hearing more questions. We wish you all the best. We thank you for your time tonight, and we really hope we'll see you soon. So thanks again.